Here's the camper inside of the shop.
I'm Megan, and this is my husband, Beau, and our daughter, Beckett. Join us on our journey as we relocate our family to raw land in beautiful northeastern Washington. Watch as we start from scratch and build the life we desire. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I don't know what this cable's called, but they're not marked which one's which, and so we're gonna use this battery, and I'm gonna stick the cables on the battery, and then he's gonna see what one's what down there. So it should be interesting. God, this battery weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Here goes nothing. When? Okay. This wire is very hard to bend. Ugh. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is a really bad angle.
So as all we were doing is she had this end down here that you saw, and I put my voltmeter, hold that, down. I had the black one on the ground and we literally just touched it. When she touched it, I could see it show up down there. One thing, it wasn't working. So this is your alternating current, this is your DC side. I had it here and it literally wasn't showing up, and I just think it's such a small battery trying to push 150 feet. This voltmeter has a battery setting, which actually I've never seen, but I put it on 9 volt and it must just take very little power to make this read. But anyways, that's the only way I could get it to show up. But as soon as I switched to that, it was very clear that we were on the correct terminal. So now that we got this phased, we know where to land on the panel. I don't remember which phase was what. Doesn't really matter in this situation. If you were going to run like pumps or any sort of electrical motor where the rotation matters, then the phases really matter. I'm going to land it.
So he's got it all hooked up. And I think he turned it on. Oh, sure enough, he turned it on right there. So the power box on the outside of our house, don't mind my giant gloves, look at that, I'm trying to point. The power box on the outside of our house officially has power. One step closer. Guys, can't wait, it's so exciting.
Friday evening here. So I started taking this apart and I figured I better show you guys. I was told that you can't have your neutral and your ground bonded beyond your first major disconnect or service. So I called my buddy, who's the master electrician for the company we work for, and he showed, I sent him a picture of this. As you can see, let me get out of the light here. So this is a bigger lug than this side. So considering your neutral has to be the same current carrying capacity as your power legs, you know that this is your neutral side. And this bus bar here goes through behind the main breaker, comes out and lands on this bus bar. So, or this, I think it's called a bus bar. So this neutral is already tied to this ground. if you read this little sticker here, it doesn't do anything. It says, when required to bond ground and neutral, thread screw into case with 40 inch-pounds. That's this screw here. So when you do that, it connects this neutral to the box, which in turn grounds it to this, or excuse me, bonds it to the ground side. But this little thing, bar, does the same thing. So in order for your ground not to be bonded to the neutral in this panel, that bar that goes behind the main breaker has to come out. And like I said, I called my buddy who's a master electrician. He confirmed that. He says just remove that, take the screw out, so if the inspector does see it, he doesn't think it's accidentally screwed in. Even though that is not screwed in and bonding, he says even if it's in there, it'll throw a red flag. So this was a Home Depot purchase. I don't know if you have your main service coming directly into this, if that's supposed to be bonded. That's a good question. I'm sure somebody can answer that. But in this situation, since I have a disconnect, or excuse me, a main breaker outside that I split, half the power going that way and half the power come to the house, this is considered a sub panel, and every sub panel should not be bonded. So take that bar out and you should pass code, at least in Washington. I think it's a national electrical code, so I don't think it's state by state. I do think there's certain things that are different in certain states, but don't quote me on this. I think for the most part it is a national code. So I'm gonna take that out. We'll get our service entry cable, which is this gray stuff here. We'll get this ran out to the disconnect, and like I said, this can actually just run right in your wall cavity, just like Romex, giant Romex essentially. We'll land this inside, and we'll have power in the house tonight. Well, now I know why this drill bit was free. All right, we got power. You got power in the house. We don't have any outlets, but there's power here. Actually, there's not, because I haven't terminated this end outside. I ran out of time. I was super busy today with my actual job. Didn't get out here till, I don't even know what time I got out here. Late, 5:36. But got this in. It's about, I don't know, it took about an hour. It's exciting though. Go backwards. Put it in rabbit.
Rabbit, or just take, I think it's just off turtle.
Go, 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 go!
Oh god.
Nope, you gave up. Hop! Hit it! Go, 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 go!
There, I got it out here.
All right, after the scissor lift event of 2021,
Say what?
got all hooked up. Got our, I just pulled one circuit in that we're gonna plug the RV into. So got the ground ran over. It's always nice to keep, you know, when you start your first one, just push it all the way to the back, all the way down, and then land it on, you know, the first one here, and then the subsequent ones will stack off of it and hit as they're going down. So, and then always try to land, you know, your first one. Try to have, you know, if this is your first breaker, this would be your first. Why is that so loose? It shouldn't be like that. Let me do a little research here. Get back to you. So I confirmed this is the right breaker type for this panel. It's just a cheap panel. To be honest, I'll never use this panel again. It was just a cheap Eaton panel from Home Depot.
like I was showing you yesterday, we had to take this lug out. And I don't know, just cheap ass panel. Anyways, this is correct breaker type, so I'm gonna run this over and land it here, and we'll get some electricity in the house. All right, got that one landed. I'm gonna put one more box in, or one more circuit. I decided just to have that one that I landed over there just be a dedicated circuit for the camper. So we'll get one more convenience outlet, I guess you'd call it, or construction outlet wired up. I'm sure we'll add one or two more, but this will get us going for now. And I'll probably, off of this circuit eventually, or off this box, I'll just pull another leg off of it, go up through there and down, and put one more somewhere in here. So the reason I did this, you see these two TJIs sticking out further, was when I moved the utility room to out here, it did a couple things that I didn't really pay attention to when I did it. So originally we were gonna have panel in the laundry room and water heater and everything in this closet here. Well, with the boiler set up and as many pipes as we have here, I figured, hell, let's just put a little room out here. Plus we can put a little bathroom in here. It'll be nice for in the future. You know, obviously using a bathroom in the garage is nicer than going through the house when you're all dirty. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, sorry, I had to come grab my hat. When I moved everything out to here, in these pole barns, you're not allowed to drill through these beams. I think I told you that on a previous video. The only thing or columns, not beams, the only place you're allowed to drill holes is in the top 2 feet, and I believe you can have 2 1-inch holes or something. I never really did get the correct answer to that. Anyways, there is a post right here. So all my power has to come out of this room. All the water and domestic hot water is also coming out of this room. So there'll only be, you know, 2 water lines, which isn't a big deal, but there will be a fairly substantial amount of electrical. So I just extended these 2 out, so I'd have like a chase to get around this column is what I did. Here's a good example of why to have your cables routed almost in its entirety to the panel before you cut it. So I just pulled this quick circuit over, landed just so we have another service outlet there for when we're building, and I didn't have it through the stud yet because it's coiling or decoiling off of this decoiler here. So I just kind of grabbed it from there, tried to hold it in place, pulled it down, and I cut it right at the bottom of the panel, which usually will give you enough length, assuming you're routed properly. Well, I wasn't really paying attention, and by the time I got it over to the wall and then down, it's too short. So you see, rather than being able to hit the side of the wall, come down, and then go in, I'm having to route it basically straight to it. All right, we're gonna go light up the house. I mean, I've got 2 outlets wired to it, so. But kind of a big deal, right? You got power in the house, not running through an extension cord. All right, so there's that one heated up. Getting ready to turn the power on, Ma. I'll go throw this disconnect and sparks will fly. Hopefully not. Okay. Check these first. Here, camera lady. So I'm just going to verify we got correct power in this panel. Hold on to me.
Why?
Well, because if I get electrocuted, you need to get electrocuted too.
No way.
120 there.
Inside the house.
Let's go check. Watch
come that
this
little-
little green light.
Oh.
Oh!
Holy cow. It's officially official. Whoa. Are you supposed to do that? Is that going to be the whole power box for the whole house?
Yeah. Is it not sufficient for your liking?
It just looks different, I guess. I don't know. Not that I spend much time on the inside of a power box.
Oh, I should have felt the fire.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Where'd you get to? Colas.
Oh, the gas station by the grocery store has it.
Has Diet Dr. Pepper?
Yep. They only have 6 sodas on tap, and diet and regular are one of them.
Did you get Acorn?
I did.
No.
That thing really does.
It's getting dark already, as you can see, but we're officially doing it. We're pulling the camper into the shop. Wish me luck. I suck at helping him back up. So, our camper is inside the shop. We are totally hooked up in here. We have the water line is hooked up in the house. The power is hooked up. We got the electrical box installed on the inside. And we are hooked to our septic tank and everything. We passed inspection today after our whole debacle. Thank goodness we didn't end up having to redo it yet again. But we are basically living in our house. So just the shop portion. Or I guess we're living in our house on wheels inside of our house. You know. Say hi. Here's the camper inside of the shop. As you can tell, we hung a bunch of tyvek and plastic separating the two halves of the building, because we are going to try to keep this side a little bit warmer to help with the camper. The cost of propane right now is through the roof, and we're blowing through it. Well, we were when we were outside, so we're hoping that we can save a little bit of money and propane by having the shop warmer, and it'll keep the camper warmer, so we're not running as much. This little room right here is our boiler room slash it will be a bathroom too eventually, but right now it just houses. So here's the water line. We're literally just plugged right into it. Obviously it's not hooked up to anything yet. This is the manifold for the garage. These are the 2 that will run out to those other manifolds that are in the rest of the house. And then this one is actually connected, or heats this boiler room right here. So there's the power box. As you can see, tub, toilet, I think, right? Yeah, and then sink over here. Nothing fancy. And then above this room, we're actually going to use this loft up here as storage. So we can get some of our stuff out of storage and in here. We did hang some plywood so we could have some little fake walls going on here in the shop so we could get some of our stuff in. None of this is, the fridge and freezer are not hooked up yet. These are from our old house in Utah. But Beau is pretty pumped about having all of his tools and toolboxes in one place. Definitely saves us some time instead of having to run around and being like, where's that? Where's this? Where's that? So here we are. Hopefully we can get some more framing done. This is a week that Beau has to travel for work, so it just depends. Look at all the sunshine coming in on the side. Building houses is just digging holes and filling back in. One thing we learned from our first power box is these ground rods can lay flat. they don't have to go vertical. And last time we did that, it was a big pain in the bum. So it was nice that we went this time. The septic drain field is filled in. Not pretty yet, but it's filled in, so there's no giant hole. Power trench getting filled in. There it is. Septic drain field all covered up. Our wonderful friend went and picked up our boiler for us today.